I married Lena today, I murmured to myself as I stepped out of the hall with her hand resting lightly, too lightly, against mine. Her fingers were cold, stiff, almost like she was trying to avoid touching me. Still I squeezed gently. "You okay?" I whispered. She nodded without looking up. "I'm fine." She wasn't fine. I'd spent years watching her from afar, loving her more than I should have, and even I could tell this smile wasn't real. The applause behind us faded into a soft blur as we walked. I kept waiting for warmth from her, something reassuring, but all I felt was distance. "You don't have to be nervous," I said. "I said I'm fine," she repeated, sharper this time. Inside, something twisted. I tried to laugh it off. "It's our wedding. I thought you'd be happier." She didn't answer. We reached the reception area where guests burst into cheerful congratulations. I wrapped my arm around her waist, hoping it would draw us closer, but she stiffened again. I pretended not to notice. Pretending had always been easier for me. When you grow up fearing betrayal, you learn to ignore the signs until they crush you. "Smile," I whispered through my own forced grin. "I am smiling," she muttered, though she clearly wasn't. Then Marcus walked in. Her ex. The one name I wished I'd never learned. He walked up confidently, eyes fixed on Lena as if I wasn't even standing beside her. "Congratulations," he said, but the word was meant only for her. He leaned close, too close, and whispered, "Did you tell him?" Lena froze. My pulse skipped. "Tell me what?" She shook her head quickly. "Nothing. Ignore him." Marcus smirked at me, a smirk that said he knew something that would break me. "Enjoy the honeymoon," he said before stepping back. I grabbed her wrist gently. "Lena, what is he talking about?" "Not here," she whispered. "Please." Her voice trembled. That terrified me more than anything else. As the crowd thinned, I replayed everything, the cold smile, the stiff touches, the fear in her eyes when Marcus spoke. Something was hiding beneath her silence, and it felt like a blade pressed against my ribs. When we finally left the hall, the night air felt heavier than it should have. We walked to the car without speaking. I reached for her hand again. She let me hold it, but there was no warmth, no grip in return. "Lena," I said softly, "I married you because I love you. Whatever it is, just tell me." She closed her eyes. "I'm sorry." "For what?" She didn't answer. And then it happened. I heard her voice, clear as day, yet she hadn't spoken a word. "He deserves to pay. This is only the beginning." I stopped in my tracks. The world spun. I stared at her, my heart pounding so hard I could barely breathe. She turned toward me slowly, confusion on her face. "Why did you stop?" I swallowed hard. "Did you say something?" "No," she whispered. "Why?" Because I heard her. I heard her thoughts, her anger, her plan. And every word shattered me from the inside out. This marriage wasn't a beginning. It was an execution waiting to happen. I forced myself to keep walking, but my legs felt unsteady. "Lena," I said, trying to steady my voice, "if there's something you want me to know, something you've been hiding, just say it." She stared at me, eyes wide, then looked away. "I told you not tonight." "Why?" I pressed. "Why does it feel like you're holding back?" Her breath hitched. "Stop asking questions." "I can't," I whispered. "Not after the way you looked at Marcus." She wrapped her arms around herself. "You think you know me," she said quietly. "But you don't. You have no idea what you've walked into." "Then tell me," I begged. She shook her head. "If I tell you now, you'll run." A chill slid down my spine. "Run from what?" She didn't answer. She only whispered, "From me." The words hit me harder than anything before tonight. And again, echoing through my skull, I heard the same hidden voice inside her mind. "He deserves to pay." I didn't sleep. Every time I shut my eyes, Lena's voice, her real voice, the one buried in her mind, spilled into me like poison. "I hate him. I hate what he did to me." The words pulsed through my skull, refusing to fade. When dawn finally came, I dragged myself into the kitchen, hoping she'd say something, anything, that didn't match the venom I'd heard. She walked past me without a glance. "Morning," I tried, voice low. She muttered, "Yeah," but her thoughts were louder. "Don't talk to me. Pretend you care." Disgusting. My chest tightened. "Did you sleep okay?" She opened the fridge. "Fine." I wish he'd stop pretending. I can't stand this. I swallowed, the ache scraping my throat. If you need anything." "I don't." Her jaw clenched. Why is he acting like this matters? After what he did. I almost told her I didn't know what she meant. that I didn't understand where this hatred came from. But fear sealed my mouth shut. The rest of the day passed in jagged pieces. Every time she moved, I heard her bitterness. Every time I spoke, she silently cursed me. Living beside her felt like walking through a minefield. She believed I'd buried myself. When she stepped out onto the balcony, I followed, not close enough for her to notice but close enough to hear. She dialed someone, voice low and sharp. "Grace, I can't do this anymore." My heart stopped. On the other end, Grace's muffled voice said something I couldn't catch. "No, listen," Lena whispered fiercely. "I married him because I wanted him to feel what I felt. I wanted him to hurt. Isn't that what we planned?" My stomach twisted. Grace spoke again, louder this time. Still unclear. "Yes, I know he doesn't remember," Lena snapped. "But I do. Every second of it. Every day of what he did ruined me." Her voice cracked. I felt the pain in her chest like it was vibrating through the walls. Broken. Nothing like the coldness she showed me. She kept going. "I thought making him fall for me would fix it. Or maybe destroy him. I don't know anymore." Grace cursed softly. "No, I'm not backing out," Lena said, wiping her face. I didn't expect him to be so," she hesitated. "So soft. So kind. It's confusing me." My breath caught. God, that wasn't hatred. That was conflict. Wounded confusion. "I don't want to feel this way," she whispered. "But every time he looks at me, I remember everything. I remember what they told me he did. I remember crying for months." A tremor shuddered through me. They told her? Oh, about what? What lies had wrapped around her heart until she couldn't breathe? I stepped back, but the wooden board creaked under me. Her head snapped around. "Who's there?" I didn't move. I couldn't. She stepped closer, eyes narrowing. For a moment she looked right at me, suspicion rising like a flame. But then her phone rang again, dragging her attention away. "Grace, I'll call you back," she muttered and walked inside. I stood alone on the balcony, the cold air slicing across my skin. My mind spun with her words, her pain, her absolute conviction that I had destroyed her. I didn't know how to prove I hadn't done anything. But I understood her now, understood the way she flinched, the sharpness in her voice, the distance she kept like armor. She wasn't cruel. She was wounded. And someone had carved that wound into her with my name. My voice barely left my throat when I whispered, "Lena, what did they do to you?" Silence settled over me, heavy and suffocating, as I tried to understand her pain fully. I stood there trembling, unsure how to take a single step forward, terrified that the truth, whatever it was, might break both of us completely right now. I left the house early, my mind spinning, desperate for answers Ava might help me untangle. The moment she opened the door, she frowned at my expression. "You look like Hal," she said. "I hear her thoughts, Ava," I whispered. "I'm not imagining it. Lena hates me and I can hear every word inside her head." Ava stepped back, letting me in. "Sit down. Tell me everything." I dropped onto her couch and rubbed my temples. "She thinks I ruined her brother's life. She thinks I smiled while everything she loved fell apart." My voice cracked. "I don't even know where that came from." Ava slowly exhaled. "It's happening again." My stomach tightened. "What do you mean, again?" "That old scandal. Daniel's accident." She hesitated. "Marcus was the one telling everyone you were involved. And Lena's father too. They pushed that narrative hard." I stared at her. But I was cleared. Everyone knew I wasn't even there. "Facts didn't matter then," Ava said softly. "And maybe they still don't." I leaned forward. "Ava, she married me because of that. For revenge." She covered her face. "God, that explains why she looked so cold during the wedding reception. I thought she was just stressed." "That wasn't stress," I muttered. "That was anger." Ava lowered her hands. "What exactly did you hear?" I swallowed. "Everything. Her thoughts are loud. Clear. She thinks I destroyed Daniel. She thinks I'm a liar. She thinks her pain is my fault." Ava touched my shoulder. "You need help. And not because you're imagining things, but because this is too much for one person." "I'm not crazy," I whispered. "I know," she said. "But get someone who can actually guide you." Her words echoed through me long after I left. When I returned home, Lena was in the kitchen. She didn't look at me, but her thoughts cut through the room like knives. "Stay away from me. Don't pretend you care. You smiled while my whole life burned." I winced. "Lena, can we talk?" She didn't turn. Nothing left to talk about. But her mind continued, trembling beneath the anger. "You ruined Daniel. You took everything. I won't let you win." I gripped the counter. I didn't hurt Daniel. Her jaw tightened, and though she didn't speak, her thoughts surged again, raw, wounded. Marcus told me the truth. Dad told me everything. You're the reason Daniel was broken. You're the reason I suffered. Every word hit me like a blow. She wasn't evil. She wasn't cruel. She was hurting, manipulated, poisoned by people she trusted. I hated how helpless I felt. Lena, I whispered, who convinced you of all this? She stepped away from me, but her mind whispered what her lips wouldn't. Marcus saved me. Marcus told me everything. Marcus never lied. Marcus. Of course. I felt dizzy, the walls closing in. I walked out before I said something I'd regret. Later that night, I sat in Rowan's office, my therapist watching me with concern. You're hearing thoughts? He asked. Yes, I breathed. Not guesses. Not intuition. Real words. Clear. Rowan folded his hands. Hallucinations can occur after traumatic stress. I'm not hallucinating. He nodded slowly. Then it might be something else. Something we don't fully understand. I leaned back. I know it's real, Rowan. I hear her even when she's silent. Does it feel intrusive? He asked. It feels like drowning in someone else's pain. He wrote something down. Regardless of the cause, the emotional weight alone is dangerous. You need grounding or you'll collapse. Lena's collapsing, I whispered. Not me. Rowan looked up. You can't save someone who's aiming their pain at you. I stood. She's striking back at the wrong person. As I walked out, Rowan called after me, be careful. Love doesn't protect you from someone else's wounds. Outside, I breathed in the cold air, trying to steady myself. But the truth was settling deep inside me now. Lena didn't hate me. She hated the lie she thought was the truth. That lie had stolen years from her and twisted everything she believed. It hung between us like a shadow, and I needed to uncover the truth before it destroyed what remained. Lena didn't start with explosions, she started with ice. The first morning she walked past me in the hallway, brushing my shoulder like I wasn't even there. Move, she muttered. But her thoughts hit harder than her voice. Don't look at him. Don't let him see you're breaking. My throat tightened. Good morning, I tried. She didn't stop. Save it. I followed her to the kitchen. Lena, I just want to talk. You don't get to talk. She opened the fridge. You lost that right years ago. But her mind whispered, if I hear his voice again, I'll fall apart. I exhaled shakily. What did I do that was so unforgivable? She slammed the fridge door. Don't pretend you forgot. I didn't do anything. Shut up, she snapped. Inside her mind, the words were shaking. If he lies one more time, I swear I'll break him first. Later, in public, she pretended not to know me. At a restaurant, she looked straight at the waiter and said, separate tables? He's not with me. People stared. The waiter hesitated. Ma'am, you came in together? She gave me a venomous glare. He insists on following me. Let him stay if he wants. I don't care. Her thoughts trembled. Why does it hurt to push him away? Why does he look confused instead of guilty? I sat across from her in silence until she hissed, stop looking at me. I whispered, I'm not your enemy. Her mind answered, you are the only enemy I've ever had. At home, she continued her silent war, hiding my keys, taking my charger, tossing my folded clothes onto the floor. Small things, deliberate things. But every action was paired with a whisper in her mind. He deserves worse. He deserves to feel helpless. One night I heard soft sobs from her side of the bedroom. I stayed still, eyes open, listening. Why did you do that to Daniel? She cried in her thoughts. Why did you smile when my world ended? Why didn't you care? My chest ached. Lena, I whispered into the darkness. I never touched Daniel. She didn't answer with words, just thoughts dripping with pain. Liar. The next day I finally snapped. We can't keep doing this. She scoffed. Only now you want honesty? Yes, I said. Because I can't watch you destroy yourself. Her voice rose. I'm destroying you. Then say it, I insisted. Say what you think I did. Her face twisted. You ruined my brother. You ruined my family. You ruined me. Her mind whispered the one thing she couldn't say aloud. And I still don't know why you never apologized. Something inside me cracked. Because I wasn't guilty. She laughed bitterly. Sure. But there was a tremor, fear, doubt, something that didn't match her certainty. That night, I drove to Marcus's office. He leaned back in his chair when I entered. Well, look who's finally desperate. I'm not here for games, I said. You poisoned her mind. He smirked. Did I? You told her I hurt Daniel. Because you did. I wasn't even there the night it happened. That's not the story she believes, he said calmly. And that's all that matters. You ruined her life, I whispered. He laughed. No. I shaped it. She trusts me. She always has. My hands curled into fists. Why involve her in your vendetta against me? His smile sharpened. Because she's the one weapon you can't fight. You'll break before you ever raise a hand to her. I felt the truth in his arrogance. He leaned forward. And the best part? She'll never escape my hold. She believes me more than she'll ever believe you. I stepped closer. You're sick. No, he said. I'm in control. And you? You're losing. Watching your own wife hate you is poetic. I left before I did something I regretted. Driving home, my chest felt hollow. The house was dark when I entered, but I could feel Lena's quiet pain seeping from the bedroom. When I approached, she whispered sharply without looking at me, "Don't touch me." But her thoughts told the truth. Why does his presence make my heart hurt? Why can't I forget what Marcus said? I stood at the doorway helpless. You're fighting the wrong person. Get out, she said. Her mind spoke differently. If I let you close, I might break. I stepped back, but I couldn't stop whispering the truth she couldn't hear. Lena, he's destroying both of us. The morning started like any other, cold air, quiet footsteps, and the distance between us. But something in Lena felt different. Her hand was bandaged loosely from the small cut she got cooking. I watched her from across the room, my heart tightening. You're bleeding again, I said softly. Let me see. She turned sharply. I can handle it myself. I stepped closer. It's just a bandage. Please. Her mind betrayed her words. Why does he look at me like I matter? I knelt, gently taking her hand. She pulled back at first, stiff as stone. I said I don't need help. I know, I whispered. But let me. Her fingers trembled slightly under mine. Why are you so careful? I care, I said simply. Doesn't make it easier for me that you hate me. She froze. I don't hate you. Her thoughts betrayed her again. Why does he keep looking at me like he sees through everything? I wrapped the bandage around her hand, careful not to pinch the skin. She flinched slightly when I tied the knot. There, I said. Done. Her eyes didn't meet mine. Thanks, she muttered. Her mind whispered softly. Could he really care? After everything? I stood slowly. Lena, I don't want to hurt you. Not now, not ever. She looked away, fidgeting with the hem of her sleeve. I don't need you worrying. I sighed. I can't stop worrying. You matter too much. She bit her lip, conflicted, and her thoughts tumbled out. He's too patient. Too calm. I don't know why it scares me. Later, Mrs. Beaumont passed me in the hallway. Sir, she whispered, glancing at Lena's closed bedroom door. She is afraid of loving you. I froze. What do you mean? She hides it. But she's afraid. That is why she lashes out. Fear makes her cruel. I nodded slowly, absorbing her words. Thank you, Mrs. Beaumont. I understand. I returned to the living room, finding Lena pacing, hands pressed to her temples. Lena? I can't, she said, voice trembling. I can't stop thinking. Her thoughts were a storm. Why does he make me feel safe when everything else is chaos? Why can't I hate him completely? I approached slowly, kneeling in front of her. Breathe with me, I said softly. You're safe. She shook her head, panic rising. No, Her hands clutched her hair. I don't understand why I feel like this around you. Why it's familiar. Why it's safe. I put a hand over hers. Because we've known each other longer than you think. And I've never wanted to hurt you. Her eyes filled with tears, voice breaking. I don't want to feel this, but I can't stop it. I held her gently, rocking slightly. It's okay. It's okay to feel. I'm here. Her thoughts trembled. Could he be the one who was always meant to be here? Even now? Minutes passed. Her breathing slowed. The tension in her shoulders eased slightly. I let her rest against me, her forehead leaning on my chest. You, she whispered finally. I don't understand why you feel so familiar, so safe. Even when I try to push you away. I smiled faintly, brushing her hair back. That's because I'm not going anywhere, Lena. Not for now, not ever. Her hand curled weakly around mine. Even if I hate you? I'll stay, I said. Even then. Her mind softened further. Maybe I don't hate him completely. I kept my arms around her as the sunlight crept through the window. The first crack in her heart showed itself in tiny, trembling moments, but I would protect it. Even if it meant facing her anger, her distrust, or her fear. "I'll help you through this," I whispered. "Always." She didn't respond aloud, only letting herself rest for a while. But in her mind, the battle raged quietly. Maybe he really is different. Maybe I can trust him. And for the first time I felt hope. I didn't know why Grace wanted to meet me in secret, but the urgency in her voice made me follow her to the quiet cafe near the park. She slid into the booth opposite me, glancing around nervously. "Thank you for coming," she whispered. "Of course," I said. "What's going on?" Her hands trembled slightly as she placed a folder in front of me. "You need to know the truth. About Daniel and Marcus." I raised an eyebrow. "Go on." Grace took a deep breath. "Marcus, he framed you. Years ago he twisted everything that happened with Daniel, made your actions look like the cause of his accident. Lena's father, he didn't check, he just believed Marcus." My heart sank. "So all that time she's been hating me for something I didn't do?" Grace nodded. "Exactly. Lena's father pushed the lie, made her think you were the villain. It was never true. Daniel's accident, it had nothing to do with you." I leaned back, gripping the edge of the table. "All these years, she's been punishing herself, and me, for a lie." "I know," Grace said softly. "I couldn't tell her. I couldn't risk Marcus finding out. But you need to know because she's starting to doubt what she was told." Later, back at the house, I watched Lena from the doorway. She sat on the couch, knees tucked under her chin, staring at nothing. Her thoughts drifted into my mind like fragile whispers. They said it was him. Everything points to him, but what if it's not? Her mind trembled with confusion, hesitation, and fear. I crouched down near her. "Lena?" She flinched. I'm fine." I shook my head gently. "No, you're not. I can feel it." Her inner voice whispered again. "Everything I believed, maybe it's wrong. Maybe he's innocent. But if I'm wrong, what am I becoming?" I stayed silent, letting her work through it. I didn't tell her what Grace had said. Not yet. She had to see it herself, to let her own mind unravel the lies and understand the truth without me forcing it. "Lena," I said softly, "you don't have to fight alone." Her mind hesitated, conflicted. Why does he care? Even after everything, does he really see me? Can I trust him? I left the room quietly, giving her space. The truth would reach her, slowly, like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. The next evening, Marcus appeared at the door. His presence filled the hall with his usual arrogance. "Lena," he said smoothly, stepping forward, "you should listen to me. Don't let him confuse you." She stood, hands trembling slightly, but she didn't step closer. Her mind surged with defiance. "I see him differently now. I won't be manipulated anymore." Her gaze met his, cold and unwavering. I need space," she said aloud, voice firm but quiet. Marcus's smile faltered. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying, I'm not yours to control," she whispered, taking a step back. I watched from the window, heart racing. Finally, she pulled away physically and mentally. Marcus's arrogance faltered, replaced by surprise and frustration. Her thoughts were a fragile storm. "He tried to break me. He lied. But I don't belong to him. Not anymore." I stayed hidden, letting her own strength manifest. My mind felt lighter, though I still carried the weight of the secret Grace had given me. The truth was out there now. It was only a matter of time before Lena realized how deeply she had been deceived. And for the first time in weeks, I allowed myself a small, cautious hope. I noticed it first in the way Lena lingered by the kitchen counter while I cooked. She pretended to check the pantry, but her eyes followed every movement I made. "You always make it look so easy," she murmured, voice soft. I chuckled, not looking at her. "It's just pasta, Lena. Not a Michelin star dish." Her mind whispered faintly into mine. Why does his kindness hurt so much? I froze for a moment, then smiled. "Are you spying on me again?" She blushed, glancing away. "I'm just curious." Later, we sat in the living room, papers scattered from our work discussion. I leaned back, and she accidentally brushed my hand while reaching for her notebook. Neither of us moved it away. Her mind flickered through warmth and confusion. "He's so patient. And he looks at me like I matter. Are you okay?" I asked quietly. She nodded, but her eyes didn't leave mine. I'm fine. Just thinking." I caught Lucas's message on my phone while she hummed softly near the couch. Marcus is moving fast. He's planning something that could jeopardize the deal. Be careful. I pocketed the phone and exhaled. We might have a problem at work, I told her. Her brow furrowed. Marcus. I nodded. Yes. He's desperate, probably because he knows things aren't going his way. Her thoughts were hesitant. Desperate, maybe he's always been dangerous. But he won't touch him. I won't let him. We moved to the dining room to finish some paperwork, and she insisted on helping me organize files. Her fingers brushed mine again, lingering slightly. I felt the warmth spread through my chest. You're really thorough, I said, trying to keep my tone casual. She laughed, a soft sound that made me pause. I guess I learned from the best. From the best. Her mind repeated it, almost incredulous. And he's right here, looking at me, smiling like it's nothing. How can I not? I felt the tension in her thoughts, the struggle she carried between guilt and curiosity. I knew Marcus's lies had chained her heart, and now she was discovering the truth, piece by piece. During dinner, she placed a hand over mine as I reached for the salad bowl. Neither of us commented. Our eyes met, holding a silent conversation. Why are you looking at me like that? She finally whispered. I smiled softly. Like what? She tilted her head, cheeks pink. Like you see me? Really see me? I swallowed, my mind racing. I do, Lena. Always have. Her thoughts flared with sudden realization and panic. He's always been kind. So kind. And I hate that it makes me feel safe. Later, as we cleared the table together, she dropped a plate. I caught it instinctively and our hands brushed again. This time I didn't pull away. Careful, I said, still holding her hand gently. I know, she whispered, voice trembling. Why am I trembling? Why does it feel like home? I caught Lucas again on my phone. The warning repeated itself, urgency clear. Marcus is planning something extreme. I tensed, realizing Lena's growing feelings could make her vulnerable if he tried to manipulate her. I need to be honest with you, I said, squeezing her hand gently. Marcus is dangerous. He won't stop until he thinks he's ruined me. You need to stay careful. Her mind wrestled with guilt and fear. I'm falling, and I shouldn't. But I can't stop. I understand, she whispered. I'll be careful. I let go of her hand, giving her space but keeping my eyes on her. She shifted, nervous yet strangely brave. That night, as I watched her walk to her room, her mind was a mixture of conflict and warmth. He's everything I wasn't supposed to want, and I do. I hate that I do. I exhaled slowly, feeling the first real shift between us. Marcus's shadow loomed, but for the first time, Lena's heart was leaning toward me. The cracks in her armor were finally showing. And I knew, this was only the beginning. The gala was buzzing, glasses clinking, laughter masking the tension I felt in my chest. I spotted Marcus across the room, leaning confidently near the stage, a smirk plastered on his face. I already knew what he planned. He caught my eye and waved, mockingly polite. Ah, the hero of the hour, he called out, voice dripping with venom. I walked toward him, Lena close by my side. Marcus, what are you doing here? I asked, voice calm but sharp. He laughed. Just reminding everyone of a little past, a crime you supposedly committed. Everyone loves a good scandal, right? I stiffened. Lena's hand tightened on mine. I heard her thoughts, trembling. He's lying again. But why do his eyes look so honest? Marcus raised his glass, voice loud enough for the crowd. Remember Daniel Beaumont? That accident years ago? Some say it wasn't an accident at all. Some say it was him. I felt Lena flinch beside me. I squeezed her hand. Lena, ignore him. You know the truth. Her mind screamed in panic. Truth. I remember his eyes. He couldn't. Marcus sneered, stepping closer. And you, dear Lena, married him for revenge, didn't you? Everyone deserves to see the real schemers. Let's not hide behind love and lies. I took a step forward. Stop it, Marcus. You have no proof. Leave her out of this. Her thoughts whispered, conflicted. I think I love him, and I hate myself for it. The crowd murmured, some curious, some horrified. Marcus gestured toward me, smug. Or should I reveal everything? Your little revenge plot, Lena? Everyone deserves to know the truth. I felt her panic radiate toward me and I gritted my teeth. No, not here. Not now. He chuckled, ignoring me. Afraid of the truth? Afraid your plans are exposed. Lena suddenly stepped between us. Enough, she shouted, voice breaking. Glasses rattled. I don't care what you say anymore. He's not guilty. And I was wrong. I could feel her mind shaking with remorse. I hurt him, the only man who cared for me. How could I have been so blind? Marcus scowled, taken aback. What are you saying? She whispered, eyes brimming with tears. I married him to hurt him, but I can't anymore. He's the only one who ever looked at me like I mattered. The truth is, I was wrong about everything. I exhaled slowly, relief mixing with exhaustion. Lena? Her thoughts were raw and trembling. He's always been kind, and I can't stop feeling this. I hate that I waited so long to see it. Marcus's jaw tightened. You can't just rewrite the past. This will ruin you both. I stepped forward, placing my hand lightly on Lena's shoulder. No, Marcus. You tried to destroy us. But your lies end here. Everyone will know the truth about Daniel, and about you. Lena's eyes widened as her mind grasped what I said. Daniel, it wasn't him. It was Marcus. I believed the lie for so long, and I almost destroyed him because of it. She inhaled, trembling, but straightened her posture. Marcus, stop lying. Everyone will see. You're the one who hurt my brother. You're the one who lied. And she paused, glancing at me. I will never believe you again. I held her hand, feeling the warmth of her trembling fingers. It's okay, Lena. You see it now. That's what matters. Her mind whispered, finally at peace. He's still here. He never left me. I can't change the past, but I finally understand. I love him. And I won't hurt him again. Marcus stepped back, defeated for the first time, his confidence cracking. He realized the truth had slipped through his fingers. I kept my hand on Lena's shoulder, protective, steady. The past is over, I said softly. We'll move forward together. You don't have to carry it alone anymore. She exhaled, tears spilling down her cheeks. I'm sorry. For everything. For trusting him, for believing lies, for hurting you. I smiled faintly, holding back my own tears. You don't have to apologize anymore. We have the truth now. That's what counts. The crowd had quieted, witnessing Lena's confession and my calm resolve. Marcus's smirk had vanished, replaced by shock and frustration. That night, Lena finally understood the weight of her mistakes, and the depth of my patience and love. The lie that had haunted us for years was shattered, leaving us free to rebuild. And I knew, from that moment, nothing could break us again. The apartment was silent except for the soft hum of the air conditioner. Lena sat on the couch, hands trembling in her lap. Her eyes met mine, wide and pleading. I have to tell you everything, she whispered. I nodded slowly, my chest tight. Go ahead, I said, though the words felt heavy on my tongue. She swallowed hard. I married you, to hurt you. I thought it was justice for what I believed you did to Daniel. Her thoughts screamed in my mind as if trying to claw out. Please, don't leave me. I didn't mean to. I just wanted him to feel pain. I looked at her, my throat dry. Lena, you believed a lie. You hurt me because you thought you were right. Her lips quivered. I see it now. I see how wrong I was. Every cold word, every glance, every push. It was me hurting the only man who ever cared for me. I can't forgive myself. Her mind was loud and raw. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wish I could take it all back. I love him. I love him and I hate myself. I felt my heart twist painfully. Lena, I love you. I always have. Tears fell freely down her cheeks. I know. And that's what makes this worse. I was supposed to protect my heart, but I destroyed yours instead. I can't believe I was so blind. Her voice cracked as she continued. Every night, I hated myself for feeling something I wasn't supposed to. But I couldn't stop thinking about you, even while I plotted against you. Her thoughts pleaded. Please, don't leave me. Please, I need you. I swallowed, forcing the pain down. Lena, I hear you. I feel everything you're feeling, and it breaks me. She reached out instinctively, but I stepped back. Don't, I whispered. I need to be honest too. The pain you caused, it's deep. My love for you doesn't erase that. Her shoulders shook. I understand. I wanted you to see me, the real me. I thought revenge would make things right, but it only tore us apart. I ran my fingers through my hair, the ache in my chest relentless. I wanted to save you, Lena. I wanted to be there when you fell. But saving someone broken doesn't mean I have to stay with them. Rowan told me that. Her eyes widened. You mean you're leaving? I didn't answer immediately. The silence stretched between us, heavy and suffocating. Finally I said, tonight, yes. I need to step away. I need to breathe, to heal. And you need to face yourself without leaning on me. Her sobs turned into wails. I don't I don't know how to do this without you. I never wanted to hurt you. Please, please don't leave me. Her thoughts clawed at my mind. I can't lose him. Not now. Not after everything. He's all I have, all I've ever had. I shook my head gently. I have to, Lena. I love you enough to let you see the truth yourself. I won't stay to let us hurt each other more. She pressed her hands to her face, trembling. I'll never forgive myself. I whispered softly, you'll forgive yourself someday. But not tonight. Not like this. I have to go. Her sobs echoed behind me as I stepped out into the hallway, the apartment door closing quietly. My chest ached with every step. I wanted to reach back, to pull her into my arms, to erase the months of pain. But I knew I couldn't. Rowan's words replayed in my mind. Saving someone broken doesn't mean you must stay with them. Sometimes love is letting go. I walked down the stairs, my hands trembling, heart shattered, but a small part of me knew this was necessary. I loved her, yes, but the man I needed to protect most tonight was me. The night air hit me as I stepped outside. Lena's sobs were faint behind the closed door, but I could still hear her heart screaming through her thoughts. I swallowed my own tears, whispering to the night, I hope you find yourself, Lena. I hope you heal, even if I'm not there to watch. And with that, I walked away, leaving behind the woman I loved, and the heartbreak that would linger long after. I didn't answer her calls for days. I didn't respond to her texts. The apartment felt emptier than ever, and I needed that silence. Lena's thoughts, her frantic pleas, they haunted me enough without her voice echoing too. But today she found me. She stood at the coffee shop where I always came to think, hair slightly messy, cheeks flushed from running. I finally found you, she exclaimed, voice breaking. I didn't move. I simply looked at her, letting her energy crash over me. Lena, I said softly. Her hands trembled. Please, listen to me. I fixed it. Everything. Marcus, he's exposed. Your name is cleared. My father, he confessed. Daniel, he knows the truth. I've tried to make it right. Please, I need you to hear me. I sighed, the tension coiling in my chest. I've heard enough, Lena. I know the truth now, all of it. But do you know what I feel? She swallowed hard. Tell me, please. I need to know. I paused, staring at the floor. Like I've been holding my heart together with tape and you're asking me to hand it over again. You loved me too late. Her eyes welled with tears. I don't care about timing anymore. I know I hurt you, I know I betrayed you, but I love you too, I interrupted quietly, and her jaw dropped slightly. I've always loved you. But loving someone doesn't erase the wounds they caused. Her thoughts were loud and desperate. I can't believe he still loves me. I won't let him leave again. Please, let me fix this. I leaned back, running my fingers through my hair. You're asking for a real marriage, Lena? You want to start over as if nothing happened. But trust isn't something you can demand back. It's something earned. I'll earn it, she whispered, voice trembling. I'll do anything. I'll spend every day proving that I love you, that I'm not that person anymore. Her thoughts echoed. I'll spend forever making it up to him. I can't lose him. I won't. I studied her, this woman who had broken me, who had loved me too late, yet whose heart I could sense trembling with sincerity. I don't know if I can trust you yet, I admitted. Her lower lip quivered. Then, let me show you. Don't push me away. Please. I closed my eyes, the weight of the past months pressing down. I love you, Lena. But I need time. I need to see that the heart that hurt me is the same heart that can heal with me. Her hands reached for mine slowly. That's all I ask. Give me a chance. Give me us. I felt the warmth of her hand through mine, and a part of me, a quiet, trembling part, wanted to pull her close, wanted to say everything would be fine. But another part, cautious and wounded, whispered, not yet, not all at once. Lena, I said softly, voice almost breaking. I'll let you in, slowly. But this is a beginning, not an end. And you need to understand, the past isn't erased. It's part of us now. Her thoughts were a mixture of relief and hope. He's letting me in. He hasn't closed the door. He still loves me. We can start over. I squeezed her hand gently, feeling the tension drain slightly. We'll take it one step at a time. That's all I can promise right now. But I'm here. I haven't walked away completely. Her tears fell freely, but they weren't the desperate, broken tears of before. They were softer now, hopeful. Thank you for not giving up. I looked at her, letting the sunrise spill over her face. Don't thank me yet. Just, don't break me again. Her lips quivered into a faint smile. I won't. I swear. And in that moment, I let her hand fully rest in mine. Not as an ending but as a fragile, delicate beginning. Pain lingered, yes. But so did hope. The past had hurt us both, yet now finally we had a chance to start anew.